Peace. What's going on, HOC? This is Chi Vital, aka King Chi, and I am back today with a message from my heart to you all. Just checking in and sharing some of the insights of what's been going on my side and what's probably going on with the Shared Collective. So, first and foremost, I want to welcome you all back into our living room. um, HOC always was a place for us to gather, right? And it still is a place for us to gather and to share and discuss things about building love in sacred space. So let's first acknowledge that we are in this harvest season and what that means to all of us. Peace and welcome. What's up, Jackie? How you doing, love? I miss you all too, actually. Um, and I'm working behind the scenes, but it's important for me to check in from time to time and make sure you all know that you are still present on my mind as it's an exchange. Peace, Irma. So, just from like a really transparent place, you know, my crew, y'all know that I'm going through my process of my initiation and working on myself at the same time while still sharing with you all the years of information that I've gathered along the way. And I've realized that when we get to meet with each other, it's always an exciting time, whether we're here on a screen or we're in person. And I'm looking forward to our in-person sessions. I really do miss that collective. It can look very different than what it's actually feeling like. And that goes for all of us. So some of you are out in the world and you all are doing well, you look well because you're doing the work that you're supposed to be doing. And even when you're doing the work you're supposed to be doing, as you're letting go and building and getting stronger, you have to lose your shell, right? You have to lose your shell. It's uncomfortable, but you shine underneath that. So back to it being harvest season, the title of the video is Where Am I? More so, not just where am I, but where are you? And where the I is, we're speaking to who and what is present on your throne. On your throne, on your seat of consciousness, on your seat of awareness. Okay? So during harvest season, it is important to get into a detox mode, not just with your foods, but with whatever's in your household, whatever's going on in your social life, whatever's going on in your thought process. So a lot of detoxing is going on with foods and working out and sweating things out. But there's going to be things that you all need to still remove when it comes to your mental mindset, habits that you may have. All right. And they are things that are not always in your control because it depends on where you are, where you're sitting. The biggest or the most clearest indicator of things that are in the way will be these triggers. We speak about triggers, and I'm going to continue to go a little deeper and a little deeper and a little deeper, because when we go into shadow work, we are like onions. We are layered. And what those layers are, I'd like to call them triggers. Okay? Most of you are familiar with triggers. If you're familiar with triggers, press 1 in the chat. If you're with me and you're listening. What we discovered some time before with our triggers were things that would bring up past trauma, angst, upset, disappointments, experiences. Mostly we associated them with negative attributes of us just living our everyday lives. What I've discovered in my silence as I'm working, moving forward, living life, loving life, living and loving life, right? Is that these triggers are not just associated with negative experiences that we have in our lives that cause us upset, but they can also be the attachments to positive things that we have decided or we chose to be what the outcome is going to be. So you work towards something because there's an outcome. We're on a journey. There's a beginning of the journey, which starts with the event of either awakening and realizing that you want something different or you want more of what you have. And then you set out to go on this journey, and then there's a goal. But as we move through life, there are going to be situations inevitably, like nothing is absolutely perfect, right? There are going to be situations that just seem to unravel. And when they unravel, you can feel them unraveling within yourself, because those triggers are, those unraveling events are made of, like those triggers are the wall or the material, the concrete, the straw, the wood, whatever you want to build your house around you out of, okay? Your protectors, your triggers are your protectors. Woo! Took me long to get that one out, right? Hey, baby, what's going on? What's up, Jiggy? All right? These triggers are our protectors, okay? So we have a healthy relationship with our protectors most of the time, but we don't always understand our protectors, okay? And we can go two different ways. We can go into, you have our spiritual protectors, and then we have our psyche protectors, all right? For this video, I'm going to talk about our psyche protectors, because our spiritual protectors, that's a whole nother video. And there's a whole nother learning in understanding them too, right? With our psyche protectors, where we're trying to cultivate and create and manifest the beautiful experience of life, what we must first understand is that we have the choice of whether we see things as beautiful or they are not. Okay? Keeping in mind that no matter what you or I go through, we're going to see it the way we see it, the way we choose to see it. Now, you do more choosing if you are still seated on your throne, which means you are aware of what is happening and you are aware of what is deciding of how to feel or how to engage with what you're experiencing. So the first thing that I want to remind you during this harvest season is to cherish the things that remind you of the beauty inside of yourselves, the beauty in your environment, and ultimately your choice of seeing the beauty in it. Every day, when you're walking out the house, making a choice to see beauty in it all. Why? Why would I do that? Things are crazy outside. Things are absolutely not going the way that they should be if human beings could get it together. I get that. I get that. I'm not saying to throw out your feelings and your perceptions of what you don't find beautiful. But whatever it is that you feel inside, including whatever rage you feel, Isn't that a beautiful thing? That you still have a heart that beats for not just yourself, but for the people, for humanity that you see are not experiencing what they should experience. And in that, you can make choices to make real changes about your life and about changes in your environment, not just what people are telling you to do. Okay? It's relevant that you understand that for yourself. Peace, Denise. Every day, you want to understand that everything outside that is pushing your buttons is reminding you of what you want to protect yourself from. And if you are truly free as a spiritual being, then there's nothing for you to protect yourself from. So when you feel pushed, you feel opposite of how you want to feel about your environment or what you're experiencing, remember to go back to your seat of consciousness, back to your seat where you can make decisions about how you want to be, how you want to feel. By knowing that when you are feeling pushed, when you're feeling triggered, that is the box of your own manifestation. Understood? All right, so I don't know if you felt it yet, but there's definitely a lot of fighting, a lot of fighting energy, a lot of emotions rising, a lot of things being purged. Okay, if we're definitely connected, we're going to feel that ripple through for those of you who are working together and for those of you who are genuinely on your path. But I want you to consider that at this time of year where we are harvesting, we are also looking at what is going to be useful to us moving forward, right? What we want to reproduce moving into the next year, starting from now, and realize that the seeds that we're going to use to plant for the next year are going to come from the abundance of the fruit that we've harvested now. Okay? So consider all that you've done, all that you're doing. Take away all of the flesh, eat whatever you are getting sustenance from, and revere the seeds that you're going to move forward with and go and recycle and get rid of what you're not going to move forward with. And for right now, in preparation for lessons that are going to be coming, where you can look at the value of what is left over and understand what that truly means, I want you to stick with choosing to be happy, choosing to see the beauty in all that you are, and reminding yourself to sit on your throne so that you can make decisions about what's next for you, because that's the energy we're in. So prepare for this full moon so that you can release appropriately and take with you what's next. Do you all have any questions for me? All right, y'all. That's it. Talk to y'all later. Peace.